Babylon system is the vampire. Yeah. Sucking the children day by day. Yeah.
Hi there, folks, and welcome to this edition of Pacific Progress Cast. We're hours away from October 15th, World Revolution Day. And I needed to put this webcast out there to hit on both sides of the spectrum because I'm sick of what I'm hearing on both sides. On the extreme left, or just the left, we have the progressive and an article by Matthew Rothschild here. Now, I can get right into the brazen lie, and there are quite a few lies in here. But to start, he is simply trying to divide the Occupy Wall Street movement and the Tea Party, which is the exact opposite of what we need to be doing right now. Case in point, right on into it. He says, the Tea Party was the invention of the Koch brothers and Dick Armey and Fox News. Wrong. Completely wrong. 100% wrong. Nothing could be completely farther from the truth. The Tea Party was the invention of Ron Paul. The Tea Party was co-opted by the mainstream and portrayed as a racist group of people in order to keep the other side, the left of the spectrum, away from the Tea Party. No, we can't have populism in America. We can't have people coming together on common ideals. We have to keep at our sides and in our tribes. But anyways, he also gets into some more just direct lies. He says that the Wall Street movement has been unfunded. That's incorrect. It was funded by definitely some groups that put money into Adbusters. Definitely groups that are now putting money into organizing things such as Move On. And I'm not necessarily saying bad things about those groups. I don't agree with them. But the thing is, we need to agree with what we agree with on and push for that. End the wars. Stop the corporate financier oligarchy. Stop it now. On the opposite side of the spectrum, I've seen the same exact thing. I am tired of looking at InfoWars comments and people out there that are just doing the same thing. For instance, talking about the Occupy Wall Street people. They are re-shills for the NWO, bought and paid for by George Soros. Wrong. Alright? George Soros is putting money into it, and the New World Order is putting money into it, but this is not about them. They are trying to co-opt the movement just like they co-opted the Tea Party and turned it mainstream. And when they can co-opt Occupy Wall Street, the movement will simply become irrelevant as it is, and it will be a waste. And that's not what we need right now, folks. We need cooperation. We need both sides of the spectrum to work together to accomplish these goals. If we continue to fight in the tribal warfare game, we are going to let this window pass us by. October 15th has been being advertised on the social networks and websites that I follow for months. Since before June. I had it on my website in June. This is going to be huge tomorrow. I'm talking about millions of people on the streets, and we need to make sure that this is dealt with properly. The only way to deal with this properly is to make sure that they in the Federal Reserve and the private central banks around the world that are instituting fiat currency to simply control people's lives. When you are running fiat currency, you are a slave and you're paying for your own slavery. And people don't realize that. This currency system has been around since the dawn of real human civilization. since Babylonian times. That's what this is, fiat currency. These bloodlines that have done this to humanity for thousands of years have controlled humanity through this one main tool, that is fiat currency. And we have got to break ourselves from it. It's a false idol that people worship. I'm not saying that we need to get rid of money. I'm not saying that we need to go in that direction. I'm not saying that. You can still have wealth by having gold, by having items that have wealth. We've got to get off this idol of a dollar, the idol of a piece of paper that is monetary currency that has value, because it doesn't. And the longer we continue to stay in this love affair with paper currency, they will continue to control our lives and control humanity. This is the window now where we can tell them no more. No more. And we need both sides of the spectrum to be working together to accomplish this. If we don't, it's done. We need info warriors out there educating people on the Federal Reserve and what has happened to humanity, what they've been doing over the last 100 years plus. That's what needs to be happening. We need that help out there. And we need people on the left to also be there to help as well, to spread good ideas about social change, things that need to be happening better for people in certain areas. There are groups of people that are completely disenfranchised, and there are institutional barriers in place, regardless of people that might want to think otherwise. And we need to make sure that there are things that are done to overcome those barriers, so we as humanity can go forward. Because a lot of people are coming upon the real truth of humanity right now, folks, where we came from and where we are going, and what the human body and a soul is actually capable of. And we are going to go big places, folks, if we can break this love affair with fiat currency, with paper currency. That's why they're able to switch this all into a digital nothing now, into the digital age of everything electronic and paperless, and transactions just on cards, because it's nothing. It's nothing. And if you don't understand that, then you don't understand history, you don't understand money, you don't understand monetary systems, and you simply are basically a sheep, and you're right along in there with the rest of the masses. And I'm pretty much thinking that if you've been listening to this, and if you're here, you're not a sheep. So we need to be waking people up. Get out there, folks, and tomorrow, network, talk to other people, and help. Because we can make this real. This can be it. This can be it. And if this is made to not be it, if this is co-opted, if this is ruined as it is, that's it, folks. They've been rolling out the New World Order for 10 years, and they're just about to roll out a cataclysm here real soon and change everything. And you'll have to give all of your hope and faith to them, because you'll have nothing else. I'm not trying to scare you. Ride it out and see. But like I said, if you're here, you probably know what's going on, and you have a good inkling about what's coming. So be prepared, folks. And tomorrow, help people out. Get out there, march, join hands with people, educate others about what's been happening, and we can make this the real thing. Thanks a lot for listening. Power to the people from pacificprogress.us. Hey there, folks. I was waiting for the last video that I just recorded to produce, and I was watching a video, and I had to get this on this Progress Cast as well. You have to listen to the evil things coming out of Keith Olbermann's mouth. I am not trying to adopt the left-right paradigm, but you have got to listen to how these people from the mainstream media, and this is current, this isn't even supposed to be mainstream, but these people are just so weak and just backing the continued slavery of us. Listen. I want you to closely listen to what Keith Olbermann says after Matt Taibbi says what he has to say. But just listen.
There's a small community of those people, and we've kind of been talking amongst each other for the last few weeks or so, trying to think about what would the demands be, what would a good demand be when it came time to make one. And the one thing that everybody can agree on is you have to break up the too big to fail companies. You got to go in and get rid of those companies because they're above the law and above the market. They have the implicit support of the United States government, which is a disastrous, deadly situation for everybody. So that's thing one. I mean, and that's something they could actually get too. That's something that's what I think a lot of these protesters don't realize. You know, a movement to
what Congress in our America of 2011 would ever approve that? They would be kidnapped, and you'd never find the bodies. They'd be kidnapped by their corporate owners.
That I know that's true. It does sound outlandish.
The people that would be appointed to replace them would pass this.
But you know, there was an amendment.
Yeah. So then we're just supposed to let them continue the slavery? We're just supposed to let this Congress continue allowing the mega corporations to evade every sensible piece of legislation and every reasonable piece of moral decency out there to control and harm humanity? We're just supposed to allow it because, oh, they'd be kidnapped and hung? What? Folks, did you hear that? That's what I'm talking about. This is current. They're supposed to not even be mainstream. They're weak. This is weak. Oberman, he's weak. I used to like him a long time ago, but he is a joke and he's weak. Listen to what he just said. It's right there for you. If you want to go and watch this video yourself, do it. These people are so weak, and it's so important that we get out there and show them that we are not going to let them continue to do this. We are going to stop their corporate financier oligarchy and their private central banks that are simply controlling humanity, and we're done with it. Thanks a lot, folks. Power to the people.
There's a time when the operation of the machine becomes so odious, makes you so sick at heart, that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part. And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, upon the levers, upon all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.